Yeah. Right. Well, we're talking about art can be so sweet. Control.
Control.
Art.
Art.
Delete. Let's start the show.
That was awesome.
Hey.
Did you make that up on the spot?
Oh, kind of, more or less.
Big
Rough
force
outline inside, and you know, pull the trigger.
Thanks for joining us for Ctrl+ART+Delete, episode 8, I guess.
I'll just save myself some editing later.
Yeah, nice intro, man.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
We're here at Daniel's cabin, Daniel's grandma's cabin in Swan Lake in Big Fork, Montana.
Yeah.
And perfect spring day, so we figured we'd be outside. Except for Lauren, who's from Las Vegas, did not dress appropriately, so she's freezing. But
When you look outside and see sun in Montana, it doesn't mean it'll melt you.
also, there's a good 40-degree temperature difference between sun up and sun down. It was like almost 70 today, but pretty soon it'll be dropping to 40.
Trixie.
It is.
It's tricksy.
Yeah. So I'm going to be painting a little watercolor, which is viewable on the video, hopefully.
Enhance that. Just keep enhancing it. The technology is always existing.
Swipe. Via this sort of shot I got from top of Big Mountain, looking towards Glacier National Park.
That looks like a fall photo.
It was last fall.
Well, then I can't be a part of this.
Can't do a spring.
No. It's nice. I love
Just
those trees, the orange. I love being in
Tamaracks.
Montana during the fall. The tamaracks.
Yeah.
I love it.
Changing the
Mhm.
scenes, the colors.
It's a beautiful state.
It is. You just remember that scene in Birdcage when Gene Hackman's like talking to them about his trip down from the
I
east.
haven't seen that
down.
movie
You haven't seen Birdcage?
in a long
time.
It's
Okay.
been
What movie?
actually.
The Birdcage.
We saw it 3 years ago.
Oh,
Actually,
it's so good. I watch it every time it's on. It's Robin Williams and Nathan Lane as gay partners and owners in a
it's like a gay Miami club that
Yeah.
they own,
Yeah.
right? And then they like
with
live above it.
drag shows. They do drag shows.
Oh.
And meanwhile, their son, Robin Williams' son, decides to get married and surprises them that he's marrying this daughter of this very conservative U.S. senator, played by Gene Hackman, and hijinks ensue. It's excellent. They have to come down and meet the parents, and Nathan Lane does the performance of his lifetime as a woman in drag to convince them that he was a normal conservative woman. And
Some could argue Hank Azaria also getting
Hank
the
Azaria
performance.
steals the show a little bit. He's as the gay Cuban housekeeper.
Houseboy?
Yeah, I would say he's house lady, but
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Highly
You have to ask
recommended.
him, I guess. But
anyway, we're
classic
not
movie.
here.
It's not a movie podcast, people.
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So we discussed various things we could talk about. James Corwin was maybe going to be here, and we could talk about the link between artwork, wildlife artwork, and conservation, and the role hunters play in that, in funding a lot of conservation. And but he wasn't able to make it, and the Richie and Ken are not yet back from their Southwest adventure. They're posting lots of cool social media posts about it, and it sounds awesome.
Bet they're tan as hell.
I bet. Yeah, though it sounds like a lot of wind.
Good for them.
storms,
Yeah.
wind
Last
stuck in
I-
there.
Last I heard, they got like wind forced them out of some area. And
Right.
went over there.
That's crazy. I hate wind.
I love it.
Yeah? Just like shake your head and shake your hair.
I actually truthfully do really enjoy the wind. Like when it gets really windy, I'm like, this is cool.
But it means you can't do anything outside. It limits your experience.
And in the
You
desert.
can experience the
Yeah.
majesty
It's
of nature.
sandy.
that
Sandy,
not a
it's
thing?
all in your eyes.
Crouching in your car. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Sand.
definitely
I'm from the
suck.
desert.
It's rough. It gets in places.
It's true. I just like it.
Gets in all the crevices.
That was a line in Star Wars that Hayden Christensen said
Really?
as Anakin, and George Lucas wrote that line.
What was
Which
it?
one?
No, it's like it's got to be one of either the
I hate sand.
episode 3 or 4. Yeah, I hate sand. It's rough and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. It's rough.
Or coarse. It's coarse.
It's
or something.
coarse.
And it was
That
this-
do really well in my Tatooine slave spelling class.
Yeah.
Vocabulary.
Well, this was older. This was Jedi Anakin, but he was like one of his weepy complaining scenes to Princess.
You just mean one of his scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one
Original.
when he's
Because there
crying.
isn't one where he's
Sand.
not.
I guess we're talking about movies this podcast. All right.
Movies are art.
Heck yeah.
Every frame a painting.
Right.
YouTube channel I enjoy.
What is that really one?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Every
Yeah.
frame of paint. Oh, like takes
It
stills.
does it's like a video essays on cinema and different movies, and kind of breaks down certain aspects of some movies or a certain technique of film. I enjoy it.
Cool.
Check it out. Sure.
What's it called?
It's called Every Frame of a Painting. Yeah.
That sounds educational.
It definitely is if you're into the technical side of film,
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah. As we are, as evidenced by our janky setup here. But
So what are you starting on?
well, it's a landscape watercolor painting, and I haven't started yet because it's very difficult to paint and talk at the same time. And I understand now why Richie has a problem, because I am trying to participate in the conversation and also think about what the next step is.
I noticed you have just the one colors. Are you?
No, I have a little blue. It's
Oh,
hard to
okay.
see there, but yeah, no, I have a color triad of cobalt blue, rose madder red, and transparent yellow, and that's one color triad for watercolor. And it's a way, keeping to triads is a way to avoid creating mud in watercolor. It's very easy to create mud when you're using a bunch of different pigments. And if you just use three primary colors, they're
Less likely to mess it up.
yeah. Because even if you mix all three of them, they're going to create a nice kind of gray, probably, in the right proportions. So
If you're going for like a reddish, bluish, yellowish color.
yes. So a lot of good watercolor, I think, is finding nice grays, having beautiful grays, because you
Yeah.
can mix it on the paper. You can like do wet on wet. You can wet the paper first, and then add the pigment and let it run together on the paper and see what happens. And you can add salt for extra texture.
Oh, yes.
It's fun. Have you ever done watercolor?
Yeah, I used to really enjoy it when I was in art classes.
So we stick to a triad because I'm teaching this class at the Great Northern Brewery in Whitefish, and it's for beginners primarily. I mean, it's a beginner class, and some people come in and they've done it before, and that's great. But some have never done it, and they just want an easy step-by-step process. And we start by painting an outline of a pear, wet that with water. That would actually be fun to do too. And then dropping 3 different colors and just grabbing some. And I say drop, and I realize that like it's not a very descriptive way of describing what you're supposed to do. And for total beginners, it's tricky. So basically, you want to wet the watercolor pigment, so you get some out of it, and then decide what color's next. And I haven't decided. And it's really important to keep your water clean. Pro tip.
And make decisions as well.
Also, yes, while talking, I don't usually paint. Vice versa. So
When's your next class?
my next classes are May 13th and 20th, the second and third Fridays
happens there?
7:30.
What happens in said classes?
We drew up some artwork. There's about 12 people. We warm up with doing a wet on wet practice pair piece, and then after that is completed, everybody's sort of warmed up. We do some other design. So this is a couple of ones I messed around with. This is of the kind of Swan Range, actually, which is on our right now, very nearby. And
My left.
Your left, yes. And I did this little rough-legged hawk for fun, just as demonstrations for the students. Yeah, it's kind of fun. People end up getting a lot of really nice work out of it.
Are they repeat students? Or
No,
new?
we've had one repeat student. I can't say his name because he's painting a surprise for his girlfriend, and I can't ruin the surprise because though she probably won't listen to this, it's possible.
You just keep your bases covered. I got it.
Yeah, but
She
right.
might. I think she works for the NSA, so she might be listening right now. Don't want to give it away.
Yeah, and he's painting their animals that they have together. First he did a cat, and now he's gonna do something else. And now I'm realizing I sort of gave it away in case you listen. I said too much.
Dang. Oh well.
But it was very inspiring and fun to see somebody enjoy it. And get something they've never done it before, and they get something they're happy with out of it. And Roomba is petulant.
He's doing circles.
Is he cold?
He might be. He gets cold easy. He's
a
not.
Chihuahua dog.
My parents, or my mom rather, got a. He was salvaged. I'll say. Saved.
Salvaged.
I'll say. Sorry, that was really demeaning.
Star
I'm sorry
Wars.
about that. Yeah, I'm still thinking about droids. He's like a little R2.
He's a junkyard dog.
No, but yeah, he was from Southern California, so I think maybe he's got that Southern blood. He'll come out and he'll be excited to run around. He starts shivering. But he's a good little guy. Keeps me company out here.
So, if I'm going to be Bob Ross, I guess what I'm doing right now is
Happy trees.
happy trees. Yes,
Happy-
exactly.
happy
Well,
puddles.
first I'm creating a base color.
Happy to
To start that, I'm adding water, putting water on the paper in the shape of the trees. It doesn't have to be exact, but I like to look at a resource, a photo. Bob Ross never looked at photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Probably
I've
just
seen the guys do that too. I'm just
Yeah.
I can't
like he goes.
think of all those.
He had a lot of dental problems, so he's in a lot of waiting rooms. I don't know.
What?
Wait, what?
Like paintings, pre-existing landscape paintings. I don't know. I'm thinking waiting rooms. You know, something you might see at Bob Ross. Desk. Sure. Not a good joke. Fine. I get
No
it.
shame. No
Forget
shame,
it.
jokes. No shame.
Yeah, you know, sometimes throwing against the wall doesn't stick.
Look at it next time.
But yeah, he definitely got down being able to paint and talk. That's for sure.
Right.
Like, I think it's not just the fact that he's able to multitask or something like that. It's just that he doesn't look at anything, but he's just put the work in. Clearly,
Yeah. Once you've painted the same scene enough times,
thousands.
you remember how it
thousands.
looks. So remember to always.
And even more so, like if you take all these pieces of all these scenes that he's painted, thousands of paintings, and kind of rearrange them and put them, and make a new one, a remix.
Yeah. His son did. His son followed in his footsteps.
The same kind of stuff.
Well, he brought. I just watched one time. I'd like to look him up, and he brought he was like introduced his son as a painter, and then his son came on and started painting instead of Bob. And he was pretty good at it. So
It would be embarrassing for him if he wasn't. Can't draw a straight line. Bob Ross.
So I'm just laying in the lightest color probably in the piece, which is yellow. And I kind of like this cool evergreen on the right and the left side. So and I can come back and do the darks later for the shadows. And I'm dropping some green in elsewhere because there's other greens in the piece. And easier to do right now. It's fun to just kind of put in some blue in a dark spot, and then you can tilt your canvas for run. Yeah, I like when the medium creates the shape of.
That's the cool thing about watercolor. A lot less control.
Yep. Let go of your illusion of control.
You gotta react to kind of what happens.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Doesn't always go well.
I always really like the way watercolor kind of communicates light and stuff. Like translucence. And
Captures it really well.
Yeah. Like in order to really do that well with other types of painting, oil, or otherwise, you really have to know your stuff.
Watercolor, you might get lucky.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite paintings I've done is a watercolor. It was from a National Geographic photo where it's just like kind of a tangle of water slide tubes. And there's like a blue sky that's kind of this gradient, and the sun's kind of just, it's just like right out of the frame, so you can like see it shining through, illuminating a couple of riders going through the tubes and stuff, but it's pretty simple as far as just
What kind of riders?
the paint riders.
Oh,
Riders of the tubes.
Too bright.
It's water slides.
oh,
So it's like blue tubes, and the sun is illuminating the silhouettes inside, kind of going through. It's really simple, but it's kind of a cool scene. I got it somewhere, but
let's see a picture, bro.
I think I could probably find. I took a picture of it.
Okay, well, not right
Yeah. No, you should talk about it.
now. All right, well, I'll keep talking my way through this piece. Got a nice little tree action going on. Don't want to go too dark first round because you can always go darker, but you can't go lighter. Next step. I see my water's getting a little dirty. I don't love it, but that's okay. I would like to do. Thanks. I just don't want to mix it on. The next step I think is to do this this mountain here, which is called Tea Kettle Mountain because it has these cool bulbous shapes in it. It's right next overlooking Columbia Falls, and I think it's a really interesting mountain, so I'm going to try to capture it as best I can, and I'm going to wet. I'm basically doing a wet on wet demonstration here, and I'm going to wet the space, the shape of it, because I don't want to do the foreground and I don't want to do the far background yet. I want to establish what that medium kind of value is as it recedes. And as mountains recede into the distance, the general rule is they become cooler and lighter value. So more blue and less pigment as you work backward.
One of the hardest things for watercolor for me is like edge control, because it tends to dry and the edge, like the pigment gathers right up to the
Yep.
edge.
One way to do that, you tilt it more, you keep it moving around. That can fix that. And I kind of forgot to go high enough with this tree here, so I'm gonna go high enough first. That's a cool shape. couch kind of breaks up the. Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
No, that's not, high school.
That's awesome. It's really fun.
Yeah,
School,
phone to
manual
phone.
Painting.
Was that for a project for school?
Just watercolor. I used to really love National Geographic photos. I
Oh.
always enjoyed all the photography. Is
Yeah.
great.
Was that a National Geographic photo that you looked
Yeah.
at? Okay.
It was, and then you can tell it's not physically possible to kind of embellish the
Right.
fantastical nature of the way the tubes
Yeah. It's cool. I like it.
are, but you know, it's just blue lines. It's just lines and gradients and shapes, like arranged in a way that you can kind of feel the scene.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why I liked it. Yeah, I always enjoyed watercolor. Very much.
I've been out of it for a while. I haven't been doing it.
Are you doing the winter thing with the Yankee?
Yeah, I'll probably go up to Glacier. The Hockaday Museum every June, I think, puts on Hockaday Museum in Kalispell puts on a plein air paint out in Glacier Park, where they have a bunch of local artists go up to Glacier National Park and paint a whole week basically, and then when they're done, they come back to the museum and exhibit everything, and everything is sold right there. And we did that last year and had a lot of fun, and I have a couple pieces come out of it that I was, well, one piece come out of it I was happy with. Yeah. So yeah. Are you?
Well, Steve, I don't know if that's the same thing, but Nancy's doing like a demonstration, I think, but he talked to the people about having it be like a participatory kind of event where
Right.
everyone
Where
can bring
people
all
can come.
their,
It's not so exclusive.
yeah,
That's nice.
so they can paint with her and not just like watch her paint.
Right.
And so he invited me to come.
Cool.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, because it's like a 1 day.
Right. So yeah, and I think that's a great idea. To involve as many people as possible. Do you,
Sounds like a lot of fun.
have you done much plein air?
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Not really.
See, people will be turning up their volume, and then I'll just blast
What?
them.
What?
What
What?
say?
I say it'll be fun.
I haven't actually. I feel like I'm more of a studio painter,
Mm-hmm.
and like going out and facing the
The
elements
elements.
and the wind and the cold.
You're not a big fan of the cold. Over there.
But I,
Or going outside if you're from Vegas, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you just try to stay inside.
yeah, avoid the sun at all costs.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try a little bit more this summer now that I have like people to go with.
Yeah, I mean, I went once last year, so I'm not a big person who does either, but
Montana
It's
summer is like the perfect.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
it's when you don't have anyone to go with, and you have to kind of get all this gear
Yeah.
together and go by yourself.
Unlikely.
It's like, I'd rather not.
So what do you need to
person.
bring? What do you take with you to?
Well, I just got this like whole setup thing that I'm gonna try. I got this really cheap ass like aluminum easel thing.
Yeah,
Language.
that'll work.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Explicit.
Ass is acceptable.
Ass is fine. Ass is great. I love ass. You were saying?
I got this like, cause I don't know if I'm gonna really be that invested in it. I don't want to
Yeah.
invest too much money until I know that it's something I really want to do.
Yeah.
So I basically just got this easel that I feel like it weighs two pounds, so I can hike with it. And then I have
That's not a lot to carry. 2
yeah,
pounds,
2 pounds.
as opposed to like a wooden
Yeah, something.
thing.
I think Ken
Yeah.
said his was like 30 pounds,
Jeebus.
and I can't imagine doing a long hike with that.
But that doesn't include the paint stuff, does it? Or?
No. So I got these little like solvent containers for the paint, and then I have a little solvent like wash jar thing. And then I got a palette, like a handheld palette. So we'll see.
Very,
We'll see about that.
very Bob
Very
Ross.
palatable.
Yeah. I see most people have like the glass palette thing that they set up.
Yeah.
But
So it's like one of the wood ones. Not your classic.
I just tried to go with the like things I already had. So
Right.
we'll see how it goes.
Supposed to get us set up soon, but I haven't.
So what you doing now?
I'm putting in some stuff in the sky because I wet stuff too prematurely.
That's the thing about watercolor, you know. Don't premature. They teach.
It's all about planning, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
puns aside. Hey.
It's like saying I'm not good at adulting. It's 21st century speak. Century.
I'm just putting in some of the dark values in the sky. The shadows on the clouds. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh, thanks. Let's see. It's not doing exactly what I want. Sort of need some paper towels. But you can also use your fingers.
Your finger? What's a fingus? Now explain to the folks at home what a fingus is.
Have you
Well,
ever,
Fingus. It's like a finger, but it's also got some mushrooms growing off it. Hence the
Gross.
combo.
Sounds dirty.
have you ever used beer instead of water?
No.
Never. You mean a drink? No.
In order to paint? Right.
Yeah, I wonder what
No.
would happen.
Probably
Like
wouldn't.
carbonation.
Everything would look like slightly tinted, probably.
Sugars.
Oh, that could be cool.
What I do try. So
I say
this
try it.
I've done coffee before. I've done
Alright.
something with coffee.
was it interesting.
It was weird
brown?
because there's no binder, so it's like it just
What do you mean binder?
like watercolor has some kind of
What's it called?
Oh, so it like
sizing,
binds
I think. Sizing
to
is the
Pulp.
watercolor
Yeah,
paper has sizing in it, which is I thought from.
what did you smell?
Yeah, if you smell it, it smells kind of weird.
Aren't
kinda
you
like
gonna at least
funky.
offer us
Yeah.
some? Jeez.
Can I smell it?
It smells like when it gets wet, it sort of smells like a barnyard kind of, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
horse hooves. The sizing
Is that the paper or the?
in the paper, yeah, I believe. Not it necessarily doesn't always come from horse hooves, maybe, but at least it used to. I think.
Well, binder is like some kind of. It like stretches out the pigment.
Just helps it attach and bind.
Is it-
You don't
yeah.
have to have the
I don't
science.
know
I mean.
this. Yeah, but coffee doesn't have any of that, so like you put it on and then it like dries and then it doesn't really stick to it very well. So
Right.
if you try to apply more,
Oh, I
you
see.
kind of just like
That's fine.
it was really weird and I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, I wanted to for silk. I wanted to try wine.
Oh.
Curious what wine would do, and I don't think it would work very well.
You could just try it.
Did you try the box wine?
Oh, sorry.
No,
On
classy.
Well, box wine works
Never-
really well on corrugated cardboard.
Never paint with wine you wouldn't drink. Right?
I would drink.
Uh,
I'm fine with it.
Yes. I don't know
What
if
do
I
they say about like
have to
cooking?
think about that one.
Never cook with something you wouldn't.
You wouldn't drink, yeah.
Never drink
Oh,
something that you used to
like
cook
cooking with alcohol.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I can see that. I mean, why would it be good? Ingredients
Good
or
question.
everything.
Why would it be good?
You know what I mean?
Why would it be
Why
good?
would it taste
Why would it be
Good.
Just keep saying that.
It's profound. You know it.
How am I not in my paint? That's an I Heart Huckabees reference.
I did not.
It went over my head.
It's alright. It was standalone good. But, you know. So, gotta bring movies back into it.
So I'm now mixing a light, or a sort of medium value color to be the color of the tea kettle mountain, and that's not quite right. That might be too blue though. You don't want to make it crazy blue, because then it looks like,
Smurfs.
I was going to say amateurish, but yeah. Also that.
I was gonna say Blue Man Group, but sure, Smurfs.
Smurfs.
Yeah, kinda
Smurfs,
so you're
not
dulling it down
Smurfs.
a little bit.
Yeah. Because mountains, though on the Coors can, mountains are blue in this situation,
If it's cold enough, right?
if they're cold enough.
If they're cold enough. Yeah.
I'm cold.
Coors, the coldest beer, by the way. You didn't know that.
Rest of the
They're
world.
packaged to be really cold.
Not even to be cold, just to well, I guess they have the lining, which does something maybe, but silliness.
You got a whiny dog. Put him inside because he was petulant.
What's his problem, bro?
He just loves me. Come on out here.
I get that.
So have
He
you done
follows
any,
me everywhere.
Crazy art adventures?
Me?
Yeah.
As far as like going, like what Richie and Ken are doing? No. I'm not as serious an artist as Richie and Ken.
Well,
about you?
an art adventure for you would be going outside and painting.
Yeah.
That's,
Just go
it's
to my
different for the
backyard.
individual. Yeah, I've been on my art adventure, staying here and recording my songs.
Yeah. You've been here for 6 months?
I've been living. Well,
Getting
I
out
guess when
here
my grandma was still
mid
here,
fall?
I was helping her out. She had some like knee surgery, so I was like,
Right.
I was nannying and just kind of being a good grandson, you know,
Right.
taking care of the little McGrams, and then she took off. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. Then she suggested that I stay here and use it as a
Treat.
exactly.
And so, how many songs have you finished? I think you
What,
told me before.
Finished? Well, okay, so I mean, songs for me, it's always various statuses as far as how far along they are. But I definitely finished the one. Anything like once I start to push the recording part of it, I kind of tie up all the loose ends that I have as far as how I want to play the song. Because it's different when you just kind of like have the skeleton of the song that you've been working with for a long time. Trying to get all the lyrics you want, arranging it right, especially if it's, you know, you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm not sure what to do with it. But when you record it, it's like do or die, right? So you gotta kind of figure it out. So because of that, it's been easier to kind of take the songs that I want to bring forward to kind of resolve themselves. I work well with deadlines.
Yeah.
You know, like pressure kind of makes me like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta get this. Quit puppy-footing around.
We could say it.
You can say, you know, beat willows. But yeah, so yeah, being here, been able to wrap up a lot of songs that have been kind of kicking around for a while, and then someone didn't put it on
Silence.
vibrate.
It's on
That's
silence
like
now.
really.
I'm sorry. Let's
Man.
start over.
Yeah, let's start over.
Delete.
Scratch.
30 minutes now.
Ruined. 35 minutes ruined. What was I talking about?
It's kind of
Songs. But yeah, I was saying that earlier I was saying that anything I record here, I'll be able to listen. Anytime I listen to it again, it'll just conjure up memories and sights and sounds and smells of being here. I grew up kind of here in the summer times, so being back here for a little while is really neat for me, and it's kind of, because it's kind of a time warp. There's a lot of most of the same decorations and, you know, knickknacks and paddywhacks that my grandma has around are all pretty much the same. So it just feels really like comforting, and it's very good for producing creativity, I guess.
Do you ever try to like record sounds of like objects that are native to this?
Ambient sounds.
Yeah.
To this space.
I had a field recorder that I used for this podcast until my car got broken into last time I was in Seattle and got stolen. But yeah, I really enjoy getting just random sounds, just unique moments. Like I got this when I was out there. I went for shooting some video footage for my brother's music. And went to Discovery Park in Seattle and kind of hiked all the way down to this it's difficult to access bluff. You gotta like climb down a bunch of sandstone and this trail. It's pretty arduous. But once you got down there, this grove of trees, and it was windy, it was just blowing, and it was just these like creaking sounds, and
That's awesome.
there's a lot of birch like kind of rubbing up against each other, and just like kind of squeaking and just doing all this like unique stuff.
Sex
It's
sounds.
like, you guys go ahead. Yep, sexy sound. You say, I don't know if they're sex. But yeah, just unique sound life sounds. I'm interested in getting.
It'd be cool to have a whole song with like the background music is like hitting trees with sticks and
Yeah.
like rubbing stuff. I don't know how music works, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
One of the songs that I finished here, I wrote kind of with my little brother in mind. I guess a year and a half, maybe 2 years. He was out working in Northern California, and just kind of thinking about him being out there. And he, at the time, was borrowing my recorder, and he was able to record like a bunch of cool sounds, which I ended up using on the song that I wrote about him being down there. So
Really?
it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Love
It
that.
just kind of plays through, and then at the end, it fades in. It's just like a river kind of bubbling,
That's
and it's in the evening, so the insects are going crazy, and the frogs are going, knowing what they do.
That's cool.
So it was really fitting. I was glad I was able to get that.
Too bad you lost your.
Yeah, but you know,
Somebody needed it more, right?
yeah, right.
Sold it for it, probably.
Yeah.
So you're adding detail now?
Yeah, little shadow spots. I don't know. While I'm waiting for this middle mountain to dry, so that I can come back in and do light background mountains and the darker foreground. I kind of like what the clouds did.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah, but I'm not quite getting the brightness of the yellow that I really want, so I'm not sure how to do that.
Well, you've been drinking too much beer to use your own urine.
Extra yellow.
I'm just guessing.
You don't know me.
You don't know my vitamin intake.
Gross, Dan.
Wow.
Pretty gross.
Ew. Pee-pee? No good. Not a good
No
conversation
bueno.
topic.
Have you ever done watercolor with pee?
No.
Yeah,
No.
that was my next question. I was gonna say it, but luckily Lauren's got the biggest balls also.
No.
Like, but if you were lost in the woods and you had nothing else,
Oh, drained? Drained?
No,
Oh,
no.
lost?
watercolor.
I mean, yeah, of course. Wait, what was the question?
Dan, of course.
Was it Bear Grylls?
You haven't tasted your own. No. I'm sure that if you
Bear
know
Grylls
you were a castaway and you were just a painter, then maybe
No,
you.
Bear Grylls loves the ratings he gets from drinking his own pee.
Oh,
Doesn't
I'm
he have
sure.
like a whole
I'm sure.
team with him with like water bottles and
Yeah.
it's probably not even real pee.
Bit of a puff.
Well,
It's probably
just that short amount of time spent him tasting his own pee translates ultimately to dollars in his pockets,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's
What a world we
We
live
would all
in.
do that.
drink pee, make money, make yellow, make green. Yeah,
Cool rap song.
I'm not above drinking my own pee.
coolrapsongs.com.
I'm just trying to enhance the yellow.
Nice tie back.
And the problem, the problem with watercolor is if you fiddle too much with it, if you go back in too many times, it starts to get muddy, and that sucks.
Unless you're
Avoid that.
drawing mud, I guess.
Yeah, but usually we don't paint mud because it's not pretty.
That is ugly.
I took a really nice photo of some mud once, so I'm just
I thought
saying.
you were going somewhere else with it.
I don't know where you could have thought. No, it's true. One time there was this mud that was super. Yeah, it was morning. I worked at this tree farm. I was like 19, and it was really
I remember
wet.
when you were working at the tree farm.
Yeah, Glacier Nursery, and there was this one area that was you'd be walking and then you step in some mud and it turns out it's like 3 feet deep.
Oh, yeah.
Crap.
Quicksand.
That kind of mud, yeah. And then so that area in the morning it was cold but not cold enough to like freeze or anything because it's still summer. But it would make it kind of hard, but super bubbly. In the morning, like the light came over the mud and glanced off it. It was the best picture of mud I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
You did it.
Yeah, it looked like lava. Actually,
That's
pretty cool. So,
I want to see that.
so mud, you know,
You can
even
find
mud,
beauty in everything.
even mud. Hashtag even mud can be beautiful. And that's the world we live in.
Okay. Well,
It's,
I was testing the dryness of it, and I
Swore.
You can say
dragged
it.
some
You
down.
can say
But fortunately, I painted light to dark,
Mm-hmm.
so I can always paint over that with a darker color, which I am going to do. But ideally, you don't want to smear your watercolor pigment like I
It
did.
looks dry.
It does, doesn't it? I blew.
It's just-
It's not shiny. There's some light. What a beautiful setting. This is fun.
Yeah.
Have you been on the lake yet?
On it,
In it.
In it.
when it was frozen over. Yes. In it, no. I'm gonna have to get in it and
You test
fetch the dock chain. So
Ooh.
I'm probably gonna do the Wim Hof method
The Wim
first,
Hof.
which I have done once.
I watched that documentary after you guys were talking about it.
Good.
It's crazy.
It is.
I think it's for real.
I do too.
I want to try it.
He's
I tried it once.
It worked.
Yeah, it totally worked. It was, you do the whole like breathing thing, and then you feel like high, and then you go outside, and this is during the winter, and I do it with my brother, who's kind of leading the way. It's more
describe the breath.
interesting. The breath is like, see, it's periods of like, and like you don't breathe out as much as you breathe in. So basically, you're just flooding your body and your blood with oxygen, and it's just really oxygenating your system, so that when you go outside, eventually, and then your body, gets put into shock. Oh crap! Better put out some, warning chemicals, adrenaline and stuff. But if you regulate your breathing and stuff, it controls your shivering, especially if you have like this pre-oxygenated blood. It's Yeah, it's pretty mind blowing.
Those-
Because you can just breathe and go outside and accomplish things you didn't think you would be able to.
That's
It's
crazy.
pretty cool. It's not something that an average person would just jump to doing. It's like, oh, I don't want to make myself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We're a
Right.
culture of comfort, but once you do it, it's pretty cool. At least as an experiment, I don't think I could religiously do something like that.
That's cool.
I just like that it's pretty clear he's not trying to sell you anything.
Yeah, that's why I think it's not like a cult. He's definitely eccentric.
Definitely.
Oh, he had followers though.
Yes.
But it's
It's
not
not-
baseless. You can try it yourself and
Right.
see for yourself. There's no Kool-Aid. It's just air and temperature. And yeah,
And breathing techniques.
that's
Science.
air. That's where the air comes in. I covered that.
Oh, sorry. Wait, air doesn't really cover the idea of bringing it.
Well, it covers the earth, so I think it covers everything. No, but I have to. Yeah, I gotta dive
Find
down.
that the universe pretty much covers everything. Shut up, woman, get on my horse. No?
That's a nice tune.
You guys don't remember that?
No.
Look at my horse is amazing.
I
Wait,
got
what
a
is that
horse
from?
right
Give
here.
it a lick. It tastes just like raisins.
A horse
I
that
need
tastes
some
like
I
raisins.
need some context.
Yes, you do. I thought not everybody enjoyed this.
Is that
Do you want to give it to us?
It was a meme. It's an animated short, basically. It's this guy on a horse and standing next to a peasant woman.
Man. Do you remember that?
As
Do
good
you
as
remember that
Land of Buffalo.
unicorn?
It's not as good as that.
The unicorn is like Candy Island or something. no.
We're going there.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You just make
And
up a
his-
song
his
for everything.
kidneys
Yep.
got
Yep, I
stolen
remember
at
that.
the end.
Yep. I do remember that. I don't remember what it was called, but
Well,
it's
classic
similar to
anime.
that, but
Remember when O.J. Simpson was happening? Yeah. O.J. Simpson, he was a guy. Some people thought he was guilty, some people thought not. Yeah. Yeah. I thought you would remember that and make a song of it because you make a song of everything. Remember the Olympics 2004? No, I was way too late.
2002, bro. Well,
Yeah,
winter.
Yes, you didn't specify
You did. That's true.
the Pain Olympics.
So I
Let's
just
not
laid
go
in
there.
just laid in some background blue, but it's pretty dark, but hopefully it'll dry a little lighter. Or I could go in and I could dab it with some paper towels, but I don't have any paper towels.
Well, maybe you should have bought some.
I should have brought some.
Just assume that I would have some.
No, I just totally forgot. It happens.
That's true.
Didn't.
That's true. I did until I cleaned the place for you. That mean nothing. Nah, I ran out of foot.
You go to Costco? You grab all those.
Hell no. I'm going to Costco. I wish. Wish I was a member. I'll get one of those members only, Costco members only jackets.
They don't let you in the door.
Oh, I know.
It's the card.
Do you know that Costco, just side fun fact, that they constantly rearrange where all their stuff is located so that you're forced to meander around.
Really?
Like look at everything.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't noticed that. I mean,
I feel
things
like-
do slowly shift,
Yeah.
but it's not like they'll suddenly go to a different department.
yeah, it's not. Oh yeah,
I
they're
feel
not
like
gonna.
the
They're not
same
gonna
route.
relocate the butchery.
Right.
They direct you in this little route
Yeah.
to the
With the produce farthest in, so you have to go
Yeah,
Any
you go all
store.
to
the way
get the
there.
fresh stuff.
Any
The
grocery
water,
store.
like the paper towels, it's all in that one corner. You have to quality.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Daily necessities.
The grocery stores.
Clever.
You walk in and there's flowers. They want you to go right. It's fun to notice that stuff. How everything's controlling your mind.
Corporations.
Corporations, businesses, your parents,
Guacamole.
your I don't know, anybody.
No, let's get guacamole at Costco.
At Costco?
Yeah.
Let's get guacamole.
Is it fresh?
Yeah, it's in these little containers, like 16.
Yeah, I've seen those. It doesn't look very fresh.
They're amazing.
You know what's even more amazing?
How long do they last?
Tasting, buying some avocados and making your own.
Yeah.
That lasts way less.
Well, because they added preservatives.
Can you put a price on experience?
I guess
Make it
not.
at your own table.
Such a general vague question. Well, yes. If you want the experience of going to Disneyland, that
Okay,
has
but
a
when
certain
you buy
amount.
avocados, you like, there's this golden window that lasts like 5 minutes where you can use them before they're.
True.
It's true.
That's
like I waste
yeah,
way more
that's
money.
true. Sometimes it's easier just to get.
It's like $4 for an avocado. Sometimes.
Oh, you shouldn't pay
No
$4
way.
for an avocado.
Maybe.
Get out
maybe
of
I'm
here.
thinking of something. Maybe I'm
Be the
thinking of
monster.
dragon.
Trader Joe's Plus.
Well, dragon fruit in the Plein Valley.
You're thinking
Yes,
of-
that would probably be $4.
I think about Whole Foods and a half.
Yeah, 50% plus.
Whole Foods squared, which is for the really
150%
rich
foods.
hipsters out there.
Off season.
I love avocados.
Off season. Organic avocados.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you shouldn't be eating those, basically.
Argentina.
We're not meant to eat them.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that Costco guacamole is really good.
Okay. Maybe give it a shot.
Just trust me.
Okay. Fine.
Anyway.
Yeah, sometimes you need to pick up some guac on the way to the beach. And some corn chips. You don't have time to get a bunch of avo. And,
Right.
I'm
you know,
not-
although the best guacamole is, of course, is you make it to your own specifications. Like I like to get tomatoes, kind of make a pico de gallo type guac. You know, get some other stuff in there.
you mix it with your
That's my style.
hands, your own tears.
My own.
I like
tears,
onion.
Because I always cry because I just love olives so much. Every time I make guac, it's just my tears go in, and that's I don't have to add any salt. Yeah. Yeah. And the guests are like, I think use a little more salt. 1 second.
What's the secret ingredient?
Hang on a second. And I start thinking about like old pets dying, and then I start crying over their bowl, and usually they're like, what? But like, just trust it. I'm like, well, it is really good guac. I'll trust you. Yeah, just eat
It's
it.
part of the process.
It's part of the process.
It's the process.
You want that processed guac. You want the processed guac, which is very different. 2 little letters, E and D. It really defines 2 different, completely different things. Yeah.
How did we get there?
I don't know. We're way out. We're way out in the boondocks.
I know how I can bring this back to art.
Yeah.
In art school, I knew somebody who did this whole project with, they were painting with food.
Okay. Interesting.
It was gross.
You're saying that making a good guac isn't
I
art?
imagine it didn't last very long.
Sorry, go ahead. Just want to say that.
That is true.
Just want to say that
Guacamole
you're
is
bullshit.
art.
But go ahead.
It was like frosting. She made this whole painting with like frosting and cake batter.
Mm.
Smelled disgusting.
Yeah. That's sort of a problem if you get it done right before the due date. What do you
Yeah,
do? You
I
just
don't
kinda,
recommend. How do you sell that?
you don't.
You
It has
throw
to
it.
be remade every time. Is there art like that where it has to be
Definitely.
What's that one artist that sold the wit? Is it?
Sold the wit.
Sold the wit.
Sounds familiar.
He all his art is like
Come here.
directions to do something. Like draw a line halfway across this wall, draw another line intersecting it midway, and it's like these really detailed
Blueprints.
instructions, and that's basically what the art is.
Interesting.
So it has to be like remade by someone.
I'm more of a fan of vague instructions. I like to muck
Well,
about.
that's kind of interesting that
Oh,
it can be
Thanos.
like remade even after he's dead, like the same exact way.
Mhm.
It's almost like
Move on.
he's achieved
Yeah, and they're
eternity.
basically changing my numbers.
Yeah. He's reached
Immortality.
immortality. Yeah, that's the word.
Kind of.
Not really.
The longevity forever kind.
Well, with like, I think an interesting
Painting.
twist on that is the rise of the 3D printers and how that's gonna change the
Printing.
world.
Printing, being able to like draw a character, and then have a program be able to take what you've drawn and model that, and like put the right necessary XYZ coordinates and points on various parts of the figure, and make it into a 3D object, and then making that into a physical like sculpture, which is pretty cool.
It's a game changer.
It is. It could be really a big game changer for animation.
How so?
I don't know. Like if
Claymation
you're
or
able
something?
to, or maybe it's easier and cooler just to hand make your dolls.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so many applications, but yeah, I just watched a little bit about the studio that they that made Coraline and
Mhm.
the new movie coming out, Kobu, I think it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah, those guys are awesome, and I just so much appreciate studios that are still doing claymation
I love
Yeah.
claymation.
and hand animated stuff, hand drawn stuff. Like
Fox Trolls wasn't great, I didn't think, but
I haven't seen.
I
it.
agree for the most part. It's
Yeah.
important to preserve that.
Yeah.
But didn't they make like a drama recently that was made all claymation and was people or something? I forgot what it was called.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Wait.
It got a lot of awards.
You're talking about with the Charlie Kaufman Anomalisa.
Yeah.
I really want to see that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I mean, you know Charlie Kaufman,
Yeah.
right?
Kind of.
No,
There was a movie.
he wrote
about him,
all of his movies have a signature practical effects, scene changing, kind of theatrical, pace to it, and aesthetic as well. Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was written by him,
Oh, really?
directed by Michel Gondry, and then he also did adaptation. What else? Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. That was directed by George Clooney, starring Sam Rockwell, Drew Barrymore, and George Clooney. Kaufman. He's a
But he's
a
neat.
strong voice in script writing.
That's awesome.
Bing John Malkovich.
Oh, yeah.
That was a Spike Jones, not me. Spike Jones joint.
Showing.
But any director, there are a few movies that have the writer and the director. When they kind of fuse together, you can see both of their voices really clearly. And he's one of those writers. Each one of Charlie Kaufman's movies are distinctly his, and then each director that worked with them, it's also distinctly theirs.
Huh.
So it's really cool.
I wish I knew more about movies.
No, should have watched more TV as a kid growing up. You're probably too busy actually doing things.
The cable guy.
That's the takeaway. Some tree stumps showing through. It's really
Just make sure they're happy.
well. It's more about the fronds of the tree that should be happy, you know. Did you know that coniferous trees, like pines and things, they grow in a helix. The branches come out of the helix pattern. Like they, you think of, okay, they have levels of branches coming out, but they actually pop out at like a.
Deciduous trees? Or?
Yeah.
Or wait, no.
Deciduous means that they lose
leaves.
their leaves, and I think coniferous is the non-leaf losing. This is mostly what we're dealing with in Montana.
Like fir trees are coniferous.
Yeah. And they
I
have
think
cones.
They're
Yeah.
cones. That's
They drop cones.
The word comes from. They're furry and they have cones.
Yep.
One of the best texts I got from my mom ever, because she, well, she likes to do speech to text and not proofread, but this isn't even one of those times. It's not even one of those hilarious
Just
times.
doesn't have time to proofread it.
Well, it's usually driving.
Right.
I don't know how to do that.
But anyway, this isn't even one of those times. I got a text from her, and it was like, "Have you heard of fractals?"
And
yeah.
And it was correct. Okay.
It was, I love her to death. She's it's a world of discovery
It
for
is.
her. For someone who, you know,
Fractals are fun.
who is open,
Yes.
the world can be an amazing place of discovery. If you haven't paid attention before or stopped for a while, or that's the thing, or even just like are naturally, there's always something to
To
look
learn
at
and
and
look
just be
at.
like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm here. This is awesome. And us artists, we try our best to kind of relay that back out in a way that is put it through the filter that is us.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
That's true.
And like, it's our job to play around as artists. We kind of got a good deal, but on the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
A lot of downsides.
I was
Yeah, but I wouldn't trade it
No.
for anything. We're more in tune with the real reality, as far as we know.
Or what makes you happy. Just trying to find some values here. It's tricky.
Do you feel like you're influenced by your mom's work at all? Or
Yeah.
A lot?
Oh yeah. Yep. From day one, I was painting in the studio.
Well,
Drawing.
she's your mom. I mean,
Not day one, I guess. When I hand could grasp a pencil.
she taught you how to eat.
Yeah, true.
Makes sense.
Like learning from her and stuff. And then,
Yeah, I would go hang out with her in the studio and draw and sometimes mostly coloring, just painting.
So what else you got to do here? You're adding some more detail now.
Yeah, kind of like the just sort of abstract shape of the yellow stuff, and probably need to go a little darker with that medium value tea kettle mountain to set it off against the background. But I got some really cool effects happening with the salt on the close thing, so that's good. Somebody out on the boat.
We'll put some detail.
I do. I'm not sure yet how. It's a lot. It's like, do you decide, okay, am I gonna do big shapes of branches, or am I gonna like try to paint individual branches? And I really don't want to paint individual branches. But a lot of it's going in and just putting in like the dark values, the dark branches. Little highlight. That's a nice little highlight on a trunk in the trees.
When I'm drawing from a photo, I often just like kind of blur my eyes and just kind of like glaze my focus over.
Yep.
So I'm just drawing what I see,
Right.
as opposed to like trying to replicate an
Yeah.
idea that I think should happen.
Yeah, that's what I tell my watercolor students. Don't paint what you see, not what your idea of it is.
Yeah.
And I think that is good advice.
It's weird how your brain will do that. Like, beginner.
Yeah.
There'll be an apple or something. And it's clearly a certain color. But they'll paint it an entirely different color. It's like, that's their idea.
Yep. Exactly.
I saw a dude. He painted a purple apple. I was like, what? Apple and purple.
Or like a lemon. I remember taking a class with someone and it was like the light was shining on it to make it like orangish. But your mind is like lemons are yellow, so you just
Just make it the pure primary
Yeah,
color
yellow.
yellow. Yeah.
Communicate.
and then like the shadow is kind of
drawing lemon.
yeah.
Well, it's a language of symbols. It's like
Yeah.
emojis, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay.
It's true.
It's a way to communicate,
Like
but
compromise communication to get what everything's in across.
is there any sort of equivalent to that in music, do you think? Like, you basically,
rephrase the question.
well, okay, you have to be, in music, you have to subscribe to some principles to make something that people interpret can hear as a song. It's not just sound, unordered sound, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, okay. Well, I think there's a human brain has a lot of pre-existing systems for figuring things out and
Right.
making sense of what it's looking at or what it's hearing. So in that sense, yes, similar.
And we get
like,
comfortable, our brains get comfortable with the same
yeah.
arrangement of neurons, the same paths.
It gets uncomfortable if it's like, too abstract for that particular mind to kind of deal with. So it's definitely a spectrum of that. What one mind is willing to, how much a mind is willing to stretch itself abstractly.
In order to make music.
In order to make sense of what it's either looking at or hearing, what the sensory intake is, like how much of the brain is willing to fill in with its own imagination, and there's different levels of but yeah, I mean,
That's a stretch. I was just curious.
Maybe like when you're singing,
Good
you
question.
can't really sing. Just like that. It sounds good.
Challenging your notions of what music could be. Nope, you
And
just
then
can't
you hear
sing.
yourself and you're like, it's terrible.
but I definitely like to play with that notion of thinking about the viewer or listener at face value, hearing or intaking the work, and how clear it is that about anything, like how clear it is that it has it's supposed to be this, or versus something that is maybe might make different people feel in a variety of different ways. So that's always a fun thing to play with. Like, I mean, advertisers, for example, have it down to a science, and we live in a world of marketing advertisements and colors and shapes and lines and designs guiding you towards one end or another.
Not here.
Well, yeah, right. You walk, how many billboards towards Christ have you passed?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's good business.
Do you think there's any like science behind what music becomes like popular music that affects?
Oh, it's
like millions of people.
It's,
Like,
it's just the same.
yeah.
Popular music, this, I mean, it's
Yeah,
been
mass consciousness.
ground down and
It's the same beat.
processed and filtered, you know. And a lot of
It's
it's
like-
repackaged in creative ways. And those are the really successful works that I think, like, you know, Pharrell Williams, for example, he's been able to churn out hits, a lot of hits that are very familiar sounding, but at the same time fresh. Like, if you can find that balance.
What makes some? It's crazy. What makes something like a hit to so many people? Like,
Yeah.
so kind
I mean, well, part of it is the fact that it's a hit to so many people. And people
Then
want to jump on the bandwagon and be part
it
of the
just
group.
becomes familiar.
Yeah,
and
it's the group
becomes
mentality is
yeah.
part of it. But just to be able to snatch out enough initially, well, that takes more than just the work. It takes, you know, previous works and building up your whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors at play, but
I think of that with art too. Like, what makes something this famous piece of art, like the Mona Lisa, like
Context,
yeah,
something. Hey, yeah, it's fine.
like hits, like lightning strikes.
I think the Mona Lisa is mostly it's just the best example of Da Vinci's work, and that's why they're the best cared for example maybe.
Yeah, there's something that is so recognizable to so many people.
Marketing.
Like how to. Then when you're coming up with something to paint, it's kind of what you're trying to achieve. Is a well crafted or well designed image that kind of is memorable, and it's hard to come up with that from scratch.
Without looking at something.
Or not without references. I mean, just like.
Dude,
'Cause you-
gotta do this.
I understand. We should just call it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Anyway.
Well, I don't want it to shut down and lose everything.
Ah, good point.
'Cause I haven't saved yet.
God damn, this is ghetto.
It was a crazy one.
All right, well, we'll call it.
Yeah, that was good. Thanks, guys.
Good discussion. Good.
It's a little
Good water.
distracted.
Do I gotta
Oh yeah,
call it?
play us out, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one I wrote when I was 3 seconds ago. Wait. So.
Fractals.
We hang with people, it's hard to agree. Control our belief. Cause we've already been hanging out, so why say hello when you can just go. Just go. Talk about art, talk about anything you want. Talk about the way that nature's good and flaunt your styles and your skills and just do it because life's good. And keep it fluid. Yo.
Thanks for listening.